as a little by the way side note. Um, um, our guest today, Val, one of his mantras, if not his mantra, is never surrender, right? Never surrender. When I think of those two words, I think of James McCormick. When I think of the words fear not, do right, I think of Sheriff Mark Lamb, soon to be Senator Mark Lamb. And you really remember it. And when James says this, you know, that never surrender, this is all generational, everything else. But I want to give a quick story while I have an opportunity. Is my uncle Bert, Bert, English. My father and both his brothers went to World War II, 1939. I'm not sure the Normandy, or whether, I'm not sure if they were Dieppe or Sword Beach or Juno, but you remember those days. This is British Army, James. And my uncle Bert went over, and mandatorily all those British kids fought for 5 years, just like my grandfather. Anyhow, Uncle Bert got captured by the Germans. He was serving in Italy, as was my grandfather. And my grandfather did the race to Rome, James, alongside Patton, but he was with them in the Montgomery crew. How's that? But Uncle Bert got captured by the Germans in Italy, and he was placed into a prisoner of war camp in Italy. And I just want to keep in brackets here, never surrender. Okay, James? And Uncle Bert, because I read a story about it, escaped. He escaped. He's in the middle of Italy, and he escaped, again, British Army. And he walked from Italy to Switzerland. I kid you not, are you ready? With no shoes, no boots, no shoes. He walked in the winter to Switzerland and was obviously rescued by the British Army. Went home safe and sound, as you alluded to earlier. You just go back to work, which he did. Uncle Bert, my father Fred, he went back to work. My Uncle Percy never came back. But Bert came back, and he was just fine. Went about his life, but he did end up. I think he had PTSD more wicked than one would think, and he ended up leaving forever for Australia a few years after the war. And to this day, there's an entire generations upon generations of Meakins down there, thanks to Uncle Bert, Bert Meakin, Ralph Bertrand Meakin. And I'm sitting saying, wow, thank goodness Uncle Bert never surrendered. Thank goodness. Thank goodness he never surrendered, because all of my cousins and all of my nieces and my great nephews and nieces and in Australia wouldn't be there. And I talk to him every day on Facebook. That'll be my last little anecdote of the day. Val, can you believe this? You ever had a chit chat like this? Thanks to James McCormick's presence today. How about that? What a show! What a show!
It's been an incredible show today.